Hello, you beautiful people out there. What is going on? This is your friend Birdie coming at you fast with another Paragon in-depth hero guide. And today we are going to be looking at GRIM.exe, the very sexy, gnarly robot of gnashing gankiness. I forget what I said in my Beast Builds video. Anyway, let's talk about him. So, he is an ADC. And what a lot of people do when they build ADCs is they go damage, right? They go damage, crit chance, crit bonus, and that's just how they build their guys. If it's Twin Blast, they also go attack speed. But this guy is a little different. You can build him the same way, and you can deal a lot of damage with him. But in my experience, and from what I've seen, he benefits a bit more by building him a bit tanky because of his large hitbox and makes it difficult to kite against other kinds of ADCs, and his CC, meaning his crowd control abilities, such as his slow from his pulse cannon and the displacement blast that really help in team fights and help in chasing down people and actually making sure that ganking people is successful because they can't get away. So that's how we're going to base this guide off of him today, how to play him kind of tanky slash supportish, but also as an ADC that can get kills, and you guys will see that he can get kills. So let's get right into it. Now, in the early game, Grim is probably one of the best ADCs when it comes to damage and crowd control and just making sure that his targets die. As you guys are going to see here, I'm going to have a couple encounters during this lane, and we're going to talk about how to slot him, how to build him, and how to actually play him. So here you see me using my circle or the suppressor cannon. This is actually a toggle. This is the first toggle for a character in Paragon, and the way you want to use this is you want to toggle it on and off between hits. So you want to hit with the slow, then you want to toggle it off, then you want to hit with your regular attack. You want to hit your third attack with the slow, your fourth attack with the regular one, and so on and so forth. You got to be kind of quick, kind of nimble with the fingers, but that's how you're going to minimize the mana drain from the ability, because it does drain a mana every second and a half or so. And the more you upgrade it, the more mana it drains, but also the more of a slowing effect it grants. So the way you want to start building him is I always slot in the square or the Q first, just one. Then I go with his shield that protects him from stuff like Rampage's Rock. And then I go with the suppressor cannon. And that's how you do it. And then you actually want to focus your upgrades on the suppressor cannon, because the more you upgrade it, like I said, the more you slow it till it's about level 3. Okay, level 3 suppressor cannon's pretty cool. Level 2 shield is pretty good because you do get more mana when you upgrade it. And then, upgrade your displacement blast, and your primary basic attack as usual, and your ultimate, of course. Your ultimate is pretty awesome, which you guys saw me kill the Iggy with. It's pretty lit. Can shoot through walls, can target people through walls too if they are highlighted on the map, and it has a super long range, just a little bit of a charge to it, but it's totally worth it for all that it can do. So definitely a good ult. And you guys see down there in the bottom left my build, but like I said, I do have a Beast Builds video on Grim already, so you guys can go ahead and check that out for more specifics on this build itself. But yeah, that's how you want to slot his abilities, and you just saw right there how to play him pretty well when you're pushing up. Just make sure you use your suppressor cannon, make sure it's toggled on when you don't want people to run away, and toggle it on and off back and forth. So let's see some more examples of some more fighting here with Grim and how to actually benefit with him the most, especially in the team fight. So here is not really a team fight, but it is a gank, and this is how you want to do it with Grim. Muriel over there escaping right on my booty, but coming behind him can really get you a couple of those first hits on target. Hit him with a suppressor cannon, make sure that they don't go anywhere, make sure that they're slowed down, while also not draining too much mana because you are toggling it off and on again. And we clear that Fang Mao pretty effectively, and actually get rid of the wave with the displacement blast. Now the displacement blast, there's a lot of L's, is pretty good for wave clearing, but only if you get the final shots on the minions, because if you don't, they're going to scatter all over the place. It's just going to be awkward. But if you can readjust your aim pretty quickly, then it shouldn't really matter too much, and you can be pretty gnarly, pretty good in those kinds of situations when that kind of stuff happens. But yeah, you notice that there's way more kills and way more assists now in the top left, because all I have been doing is just been helping other people in the lanes run up behind the enemy, run up in front of the enemy, and suppress them, make them slow, make sure they don't go anywhere. As you guys will see right here, I'm pretty sure this is another encounter and where we actually confront the Murdoch and whoever the hell, Twin Blast. Make sure they don't get away. Make sure that we don't die. Muriel ults on me, and we're actually able to kill them with the ult. And Fang is chasing Twin Blast now, so that's pretty good. So distract them with your tankliness. If you notice in the bottom left, it's probably difficult to notice, but I did start building my Greater Barrier defense card, which is why that Murdoch didn't do crazy amounts of damage to me. I was able to actually defend it a little bit, and we actually ended up killing that. But this Fang did catch me. However, I did manage to displace him and get away from him, shooting my stuns, shooting my slows at him, making sure he can't hit me, and I managed to escape in this pool. So let's actually go ahead and see what cards I get, just to clarify where in the build I'm at. So, like I said, I do have that Toon Barrier, gonna run it with my regular Beast Builds comp, and I'm out. So make sure you guys check out that Beast Builds video if you have not already. I did end up catching this Iggy in the jungle. As you can see right here, the slow from the suppressor cannon after it is level 3 is pretty gnarly. Iggy had no chance of getting away, even though Fang did slow him rather with the hamstring. Still able to actually converge on that Iggy and kill him. So the suppressor blast is very important when slowing down your enemies and actually chasing them down. And that's what makes Grim such a good ganker. So don't be afraid to roam lanes as Grim and actually, you know, help people out instead of trying to like fight in your own lane, pushing from the front. Sometimes Grim is just better pushing from the back. I mean, what can I say? Here you're actually going to see me push up a little bit against these guys, and boom, root that Fang. He's donezo, slowed, now he can't get away. Notice how I'm still doing a really good amount of damage, even though I did build tanky, and that is because that's just how Grim works, man. He's got that crit damage, that crit bonus, the ult that does a crazy amount of damage, so he can really nuke some people with this build, with this kind of setup, and the only way to play him is just make sure you're not hit by a Rampage's rock or anything. Make sure you're not stunned, because as soon as you're stunned, then you are defenseless. You can't use your slows, you can't use your bubble, your blast to shoot him away, and that's really bad. So make sure that you always keep that in check, and make sure that you can actually kill the enemy when you engage them, because with your slow, pretty much nobody can get away as long as you have at least one other person and they don't have somebody else like knocking you back or something. You can pretty much always get on target. You can always get to people. The only downside of Grim is that he's not the best pusher. Like I said, his displacement blast does damage, but it scatters all the minions and it's kind of harder and takes a little bit of time to push lanes. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. He's great at killing people, but not so great at pushing lanes. Because he's not the greatest at pushing lanes, you always want to focus your efforts on actually fighting the enemy. Now, I know that in most of my fights, you see this Muriel pretty constantly coming in on me and defending me, and y'all might make that as an excuse, like, oh, that's why you did so well, is because she kept shielding you. And yes, Muriel is very helpful, and her job is to shield ADCs, but I'm still doing that damage, and I'm still getting the shield, and my guard and barrier are still keeping up even without the shield, if you guys pay attention to that. So this build, this guide, like this, the way of playing Grim like this does work. You can't be as aggressive as you can with Murdoch or Twin Blast. Notice that when I was pushing up to lanes, I didn't really get on towers unless I had some support, because Grim is not the best at getting away. And that's something to note, is that if you engage in a fight, you got to make sure that you can win that fight, or at least get out alive. So you have to be very careful, and at the same time supporting your teammates with slows and the stuns. And actually, people won't really tend to go for you if that's the case. They'll try and go for the squishier ones, while you can just keep CCing them, and that'll just end up in your favor. So hopefully this guide helped. Hopefully you guys can go ahead and try this out. Let me know what you think of this video. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, make sure you all have a wonderful day. Yeah, I'm 12, 2, and 14.